when you actually start reverse engineering those figures
Yeah.
and you say, okay, well, to live the lifestyle that I want to live, or to have that lifestyle congruence that I need to actually, make this worth my while, what does my business need to do for me? Because at the end of the day, your business should work for you, not the other way around.
So joining me on the line today, I've got Vanessa Fiducia from Profit First Accounting. Welcome to the call, Vanessa.
Thanks, David.
Maybe give us a bit of background, who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so we're Profit First Accounting, and we specialise in the Profit First methodology, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard about or read about in Mike's book, Profit First, which is a cash flow methodology for all business owners across the globe, really. That's what we specialise in. We bring it into all aspects of business, whether or not it be bookkeeping, accounting, or just cash flow management in general.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. I mean, I love the Profit First philosophy, which is literally pay yourself first, which is what they teach in Wealth Creation 101. But often the people we talk to in business, they pay themselves last. And it's really just about discipline more than it is about, have I got enough money in the bank, isn't it?
It is. And it's one of the most worrying things that when we first meet a business owner is that they're getting paid less than what, their lowest paid. What their lowest paid staff member is, which is when I first started business myself, and this is the second business that I've had. I was taking home $250 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got 2 kids and a husband and a mortgage to pay, and $250 a week when you're paying yourself just because you think you've got to work really hard and really long hours to make money is not much money at all to make to pay all of your expenses.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, we talk about Profit First. A lot of the people who are watching this have read the book or should have read the book because it literally teaches disciplines around money. But if we were to summarize the key elements of the book for a business owner, and especially relating to the current economy, because as you're probably aware, most people are finding it challenging right now with the way the economy is. What would you consider the key elements that people should be implementing right now?
The key elements, in my opinion, is when you get cash in your bank, and Profit First is all about a cash system. So it's not about how much you've invoiced out for the month. You need to get cash in your bank.
Yeah.
So if you don't have cash there, it doesn't matter if you've invoiced out $1 million. If you've only received $500, that $1 million's null and void.
Yeah, right.
It's about getting that cash in, and it's not about turnover either. It's about your real revenue. So we need to distinguish what is your real revenue.
Yeah.
And we need to take out all of those costs. So we need to remove the GST, and we need to remove your cost of sales, which is your contractor's costs.
Yeah, right.
Your materials and your materials costs for delivering that product or service that you're delivering.
Mm-hmm.
And then get that real revenue figure there. And then divide that up between some, purposeful bank accounts, whether or not it be profit, because we want to make every job profitable from the moment that cash hits your bank account.
Yeah.
We want to take owner's payout, because why are you running a business if you're not paying yourself first?
Yeah.
We need to take the tax component out, because we need to pay the tax man. Otherwise, we end up in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of tax debt.
Yeah.
And then what's left, we need to learn to run a lean business model for operating expenses. So we've flipped the formula on its head pretty much.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. So when you talk about real revenue, I hear gross profit. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, pretty much. But it's also distinguishing what should be in your top line. So above, above your gross profit.
Yeah.
And then what should be classed as a fixed expense or operating expense.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense when you explain it, but why do so many people not follow this methodology? Why do they always, they use what they call bank statement accounting, which is, hey, there's money in the bank, I'm doing all right.
I think it's because a lot of business owners have 1 or 2 accounts. Like some are really good and they do separate out 10% for GST.
Yeah.
And then they leave this big abundance of funds in another bank account and they think, yep, great, I've got money there and I can spend it on what I like.
Yeah.
But they've left out the fact of all these other costs that they need to actually account for.
So really what you're saying is that a business owner should be pre-allocating expenses as soon as money comes in so that they're not kidding themselves about what they've actually got left to play around with.
Yeah.
Interesting. They should, right? But they don't.
Yeah. And then also coming up with, debt elimination plans and creating an account called a vault account, which when it comes to a current climate like what we're in now,
Yeah.
we want to try and build up 3 months worth of business operating funds there so we can operate our business for 3 months if we have, downtime when we're not earning much income or we have to close our doors. And we've got a buffer account there, or what we call a vault, that we have funds there available and ready for us to lean on if we need to.
Yeah, right. So really just making sure that we've got a buffer.
Yeah.
Making sure that we're looking at money as it comes in real proportion of what we get to keep.
That's right.
And then making sure that we have some sort of plan to make sure that leftover bit is worth our time investment and our blood and sweat and tears investment in actually running a small business.
You don't just want to pay yourself a wage that you could be earning working for someone else with no stress.
Yeah.
You want to make it worth your while.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is, you're talking to the converted here. I met too many people in business that are just busy.
Yeah.
And the bank account doesn't stack up, and technically they would be better off closing the door and just getting a job.
Exactly right.
And sometimes I tell them that they don't like to hear that.
Sometimes the reality hits when you actually start reverse engineering those figures and you say, okay, well, to live the lifestyle that I want to live, or to have that lifestyle congruence that I need to actually, make this worth my while, what does my business need to do for me? Because at the end of the day, your business should work for you, not the other way around.
So when we talk about this whole strategy, it's all around discipline, isn't it?
It is. Yep. Discipline and mindset.
So who's the sort of, will this have the most impact on?
100% the business owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of what stage of business do you think this would have the most impact? Is there something you should be doing when you start up? Is it something you should be doing once you sort of got cash flow? Is it something that everyone should be doing all the time?
All the time. But even like from a first startup business, if you start implementing these good habits from the word go, you're less likely to have problems. So if your business owner comes to us and, they're 10 years into business and we've got to change habits, and we always say, we're not changing habits, we're leveraging natural human behavior.
Right.
Because, most of us, we've all got a mobile phone sitting next to us. You can easily click into it and look at your internet banking.
Yeah.
If you've got your bank account set up correctly, you can log in at any point in time and see how much you've got in your owner's pay account. How much do you have to spend on operating expenses for that week or that month? And it's about creating habits and sticking to them. So we only do banking 1 day per week. Yeah. No money gets transferred, no bills get paid any other day but that 1 day a week. So it's being consistent and building that habit.
Yeah, fantastic. It sounds so simple.
It is. It really is. So our minds automatically think if we see a large amount of money sitting there, we have a large amount of money to spend.
Yeah.
If it's divvied up into purposeful bank accounts, we see it there and we say, okay, well, we've only got this smaller amount of money to spend in that part of our business.
Yeah. I think in the book, he talks about the size of your plates.
Exactly right. Yeah.
If you want to eat less, just get smaller plates.
Yeah. And it's like that, the Parkinson's law theory.
Yeah.
So if you've got toothpaste, and we all know when we get to the very end of the tube and we can't be bothered going down to Woolies, we make it last, and we squeeze every little last bit out. But when we've got the full tube, we use it as much as we want.
Yeah, right.
So if you've only got a little bit of money in your operating expenses, you work out ways to make that money last. You be more frugal with that money.
Yeah.
Instead of blowing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Vanessa, look, I'm conscious of time. If we were going to sum up this whole conversation in 1 or 2 statements in terms of what you would suggest business owners should be doing right now.
Yep.
What would you say?
Read the book if you haven't already, or listen to it on audio. And once you do that, set up your bank accounts and start splitting out your money and make it more purposeful for your business.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that key element that you just suggested is split the money when it comes in.
Exactly right.
So don't wait until, the end of the month and allocate stuff. Split it as it comes in. So you're not tricking yourself into thinking, we've got 10% more money because I haven't put it in the GST account. Exactly
right. The book says, twice a month. We do it weekly.
Yeah.
And we manage all of our clients weekly as well, just because it's better for cash flow.
Yeah.
Weekly, once a week on the same day, and do that same pattern every week.
Yeah, brilliant.
So you start creating good habits.
Yeah, so it's just about a little bit of discipline.
That's right.
Just following a process. I don't think you really have to change much about what you do, but if you use smaller plates, you'll spend less money, and all of a sudden you'll start to see the profit grow.
Exactly.
Awesome. Vanessa, look, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, David.
All right. Cheers.